What's going on, guys? This week I've been driving the 2024 Range Rover Velar. This is the Dynamic SE trim. Let's get into it. First off, this is Land Rover's fourth dedicated model of the Range Rover. As you probably know, we have the standard Range Rover, we have the Range Rover Sport. The Range Rover Evoque is the baby Range Rover. And now we have this one, the Range Rover Velar, which is above the Evoque but below the Sport. It's offered in three trim levels. You have the S, the Dynamic SE, and the Dynamic HSE at the top of the line. This one is the Dynamic SE, so it's the mid-grade package. And it's a bit special to me because in my 15 years of reviewing vehicles, I've driven a few different Range Rovers throughout the years, different year models, different trims. But this is the first time I've had one for a full week, for a full review that I got to bring to you guys. So super excited. Let's go ahead and jump into the exterior and keep this thing going. So the Velar's exterior design represents a bold departure from convention, embodying a reductive approach that Land Rover says emphasizes purity of form and function. Every line and curve serves a purpose, contributing to its aerodynamic efficiency and striking visual presence on the road. Obviously, the Velar's design language has been taken from its bigger brother, the Range Rover, which is already a good-looking and tasteful design. At the forefront of its design evolution are the super slim pixel LED headlights, which not only provide exceptional illumination, but also add a technical jewel-like appearance to the front fascia. These headlights, combined with the signature floating roof and unbroken waistline, create a seamless and cohesive aesthetic that is unmistakably Range Rover. The grille of the Velar has been redesigned for 2024 year model, further enhancing its commanding presence on the road. This new grille seamlessly integrates with the overall design language of the vehicle, ensuring a unified look across the entire Range Rover family. In addition to its striking front end, the Velar boasts a range of exterior enhancements that elevate its visual appeal. The black contrast roof adds a touch of contrast and sophistication, which has been copied across a lot of competitors. And we have the available 21-inch gloss black alloy wheels, which give it a refined yet sporty feel. Overall, the exterior design of the 2024 Range Rover Velar is a testament to the brand's commitment to innovation and excellence. With its reductive design philosophy and attention to detail, the Velar stands out as a true icon of modern luxury and performance, and has even won awards for its design, and again has been copied throughout the industry on just as expensive vehicles to lesser expensive vehicles. Behind its elegant exterior lies a spacious cargo area boasting a capacity of 29.5 cubic feet that expands to 60.2 cubic feet with the second row folded down. Whether it's luggage for a weekend getaway or groceries for the family, the Velar offers an ample space to accommodate your needs. Under the hood, the Velar Dynamic SE is powered by a formidable 3-liter turbocharged 6-cylinder engine, delivering an impressive 395 horsepower and 405 pound-feet of torque, paired with an 8-speed automatic transmission equipped with intelligent all-wheel drive and intelligent drive line dynamics. This setup in the Velar ensures a dynamic driving experience across varied terrains. Of course, depending on the trim, you can get the baseline 2-liter turbocharged engine, which gives you 247 horsepower and 269 pound-feet of torque. All right, taking a look at the interior, let's go ahead and kick it on. It is push-button start. Button's way back here. You'll hear it start up. A little bit of chimes, some Land Rover graphics. And first off, we have this 11.4-inch touchscreen display for our infotainment system and all of our controls. And when I say all of the controls, you can see There's really no other physical buttons in this vehicle outside of what's on the steering wheel. Everything's kind of baked into the screen, which some people don't mind. Some people really, it bothers them. So if you want your AC and heat controls, it's all right here. Not terrible to control and get to, but also not great. You also have your heated and cooled seats right there. Obviously some shortcuts, your navigation, media sources. This does have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. You've got some off-roading screens here, which are really good. You can engage different settings like downhill assist. You've got settings over here. This does have the auto start stop, and in this menu you can shut it off, along with some other things like auto brake hold. You have quick audio settings, and then just a list of all your settings. So probably one of the biggest sort of gripes that I've had throughout the week of driving this is that this infotainment system is pretty difficult to really get used to and navigate through, especially while driving. That being said, again, I don't drive a whole lot of Land Rovers, Range Rovers. The more that you use a system, the more you get used to it and the easier it is to use. So there is a learning curve, but again, pretty much everything in the screen, not really any physical buttons up here. Down here in this cubby, we do have a wireless phone charger, as well as a USB Type-C port down here. Our gear shifter is a small shift-by-wire knob here. So there's a button back here that you push in. You can pull back for drive, push in and push forward for reverse. When you're in reverse, you do have a full backup camera and 360 sensors, but not a 360 camera, which I think is kind of lacking on this system. I would love to have a 360 camera. It's not a huge crossover, so it's not hard to park or anything, but being an expensive vehicle, the peace of mind of knowing exactly how far you are away from vehicles and stuff like that, and any kind of off-roading, the 360 camera is almost a must. And then again, you've got your park button here. Back further, you've got cup holders. You've got your console that lists individually for passenger and driver. Moving on to the steering wheel, it is a nice feeling steering wheel, full leather. You've got your steering wheel controls that you'd probably expect, and behind here we do have paddle shifters, and then the driver information display that can be thumbed through, changed, depending on exactly what you're doing, including your driving modes. We also have a head-up display that's pretty good and I always appreciate. We have the Meridian sound system, 400 watt. Sounds really good. As you saw in my audio settings, had to turn the bass down because it is a bit rumbly for me. But I think that's a good overview of the interior. If you've got more questions, leave them down in the comments. But let's go ahead and get this thing out on the road. Behind the wheel, the Velar offers a driving experience that's both exhilarating and refined, with features like the head-up display, terrain response, with select driving and off-road modes, and adaptive dynamics. The Velar adapts effortlessly to any driving conditions, whether navigating in the city streets or rugged terrain, backcountry roads. It handles it all really well. My only slight complaint is with the engine setup that we have here at low speeds, especially stop and go in a neighborhood. It really doesn't like to go slow. It really feels like it always wants you to be pushing this vehicle, which is fine if that's what you're going for, but if you're just cruising through a neighborhood, feels a bit weird. One of the standard features on the Velar Dynamic SE is its heads-up display, which projects vital information directly on the windshield. And as far as heads-up displays go, it works. I like it. I prefer it. Despite its performance capabilities, the Velar still has a priority on fuel efficiency, thanks in part to the mild hybrid technology, which integrates the electric motor in with the gas motor to achieve better fuel economy figures without compromising on performance. And speaking of performance, we do have different driving modes with the Velar. Everything from a comfort mode, which prioritizes a smooth and refined driving experience, to the dynamic mode, which enhances the throttle response and tightens steering for more spirited driving experience. Overall, I think the driving experience is pretty exceptional. Again, my biggest gripe with the driving is in slow situations, especially stop and go situations. But if you're up on a highway, pushing it at all, it is an exceptional drive. We've got innovative technology. You've got those drive modes, you've got good economy. It's really one of the things that makes this a standout vehicle in this luxury SUV market. All right, and we're here on my favorite closed back country road. This is just a closed off road, and it's a great place to test out a quick 0 to 60 just for the fun of it. Let's see what this thing can do. So in dynamic mode, at a dead stop, ready, set, go. A little bit of a lag, lots of noise. 60. We'll see how that did in the edit. Feels quick for a crossover. All right, let's quickly talk about the price, and then we'll start wrapping this up with some of my final thoughts. So the base S trim here starts at $61,500, which as far as Range Rovers go is pretty good. This one, the Dynamic SE, has a base price of $63,600. Our full MSRP on this one, as it sits, is $79,933, so almost $80,000. We have the cold climate package, which gives us a couple of different things, including the heated filament on the front windshield, which I don't like. We have the 21-inch wheels are an option that you pay $2,600 for. The head-up display is an option. The black contrasting roof is an option. The blacked out exterior package is an option. The shadow gray ash veneer in the interior is an option. Wheel protection pack, emergency pack, handover pack, and these black perforated leather seats are listed as an option, but it has $0, so probably comes with the trim. Again, all of that adds up to about 80 grand for this. And this is the mid-level trim. The Dynamic HSE starts at almost $85,000. And again, if you're going to be adding things, they start adding up quickly. With that, let's jump out and I'll give you some of my final thoughts. So after a full week of driving the Range Rover Velar, would I recommend it? What do I think? What are some of my final thoughts? First off, it's a really good vehicle all around. Interior is really nice. You've got some good tech. I've got my gripes with it. Engine is powerful, but I've got my gripes with it. Styling looks really good. Basically a smaller version of what's already out there with the Range Rover. I even really like this color and the black roof, but for a base model of $60,000, and this trim being over $70,000. Personally, I probably wouldn't spend my money on one when there are so many really good crossovers these days for much cheaper. You're really paying for that Range Rover nameplate over anything else. And if you're like me and you want a smoother ride out of your crossover and you want a little bit better tech from your crossover, there are definitely better options out there. That being said, if you really want a Range Rover and you got the money for this specific one, I say do it. It's a good looking vehicle. Nothing really the matter with it, at least worth the test drive. With that, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Subscribe to the channel if you're into automotive reviews. We do a different review every week. Also go check out txgarage.com, where we've got a lot of written reviews as well as event and news coverage over there by a lot of great authors, not just myself. Really worth checking out. But for this one, that's all I got. Thanks for watching.